Howdy everyone, Tasty here, and thank you for joining me for Friday's news video on Monday. I had some technical difficulties, so we're just going to reuse this video today. We're going to take a look at some upcoming games of the week like we normally do on our Monday video. The new fridge that's being added to Fallout 76, SNK and what they're doing with Neo-Geo, and so much more. Remember to like the video if you guys do like the video, and if we can get this one up to 20 likes, I'll do a special live stream for you guys, so that way we can chill out and play some games together. Dislike is also somewhere around there if you did dislike the video. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that way you can stay notified of whenever I release one of these videos. First for upcoming games is one that I personally have not heard of before, but after watching a few trailers for the game, it seems pretty cool. It's AI, the Solomon Files, which seems like it plays out like kind of like a murder mystery type game. You get a special eye implant that helps you find clues and use ABBA or ABA, however you say that. I'll post the name up here, to sync with people's minds to solve the actual murder mystery. AI, the Summon Files, have an art style done in kind of like the Cyberpunk anime style, and you can look forward to playing this game on September 17th digital, and physical copies come out on the 24th. Next is a big remaster for Nintendo Switch that I know a few people out there have been waiting for, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. This is one that has been covered so much that I know if you know about this game, you don't really need me telling you much about it. But just in case you didn't, this is a 3D remaster of an old Game Boy game, and it's the first game in the Zelda series to actually go to the handheld consoles. So this is very fitting that they would remaster it and bring it over to a hybrid console that can do handheld and home consoles. Plus, they've added a few special surprises that you can look forward to on September 20th. Ni-no-Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch Remastered is a game that I missed out on once, but I will not let it happen again. I have my eye on this game ever since I've seen the second game come out last year, and when I heard of this game getting remastered and being put on the Switch, I thought to myself, now is the time to jump into this series. This game looks like I'm playing an anime movie straight out of my childhood, plus an RPG. It just adds to the appeal of the game for me. The only thing here is that the Switch is not getting the remastered version, all other consoles are. The Switch is getting the original game ported to the console, which is fine because graphics can be overlooked for a game as long as the core of the game is something worth playing. You can experience Ni-no-Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch for yourself on September 20th. Last of the upcoming games this week is the Untitled Goose Game. You would think they would have a title by now for the game. Anyway, this game looks like a top-down version of the Goat Simulator, but it might have a small story mixed in with it. And we'll know more when it comes out, but as of now, from the trailers, you play as a goose, and from what I can see, looks like you're terrorizing a town. You can play as the goose yourself on September 20th. Project Resistance is getting a trailer from the Tokyo Game Show. This is a multiplayer game from Capcom, kind of based on the Resident Evil universe. It seems like a game that plays like Dead by Daylight, where one player is watching the four other players through security cameras, releasing zombies, and controlling Mr. X to take out all the other players. Nothing on the release date yet. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot got a new trailer and official release date. This game is coming January 17th of 2020, so not much longer before you can replay through the entire DBZ saga. Control released a roadmap for the game, letting players know when new game modes and DLC is coming, the first of the updates, which is already out, with a new game mode called Expedition coming this fall, and DLC coming at the beginning of next year. Cyberpunk 2077 released a new cinematic trailer, kind of showing off the behind the scenes of the game. It's a short clip with Cyberpunk music and shows off some of the assets and how they worked on them, but not much else really to go off of. But it still got me a little hyped for the game. During the Nintendo Direct that happened last week, Jedi Knights 2 Jedi Outcast was announced and coming September 24th to the Switch. Aspyr was asked about pricing for the game on Twitter, and they replied saying that the game was going to be $9.99, so it's definitely a pickup for me on this game, especially at $9.99, and getting a great classic Jedi Knights game. Last week, the day after the Direct, Nintendo put out a video showing off what seemed to be the next Wii Fit for the Switch. But they just put out another video kind of showing off exactly what that was. And what was it, you asked? Ring Fit Adventures, which seems to be an exercise RPG style game. You get a ring that you can attach a Joy-Con to, and then a leg strap that you put the other Joy-Con in. And this is actually how you move around in the game, where you're going to be running in place with the ring and the leg strap on. And there is a way to put on an easy-like mode, so that way it's a little less noisier when playing the game. There isn't actually any buttons to press in the game. You're going to be using the ring to hold in certain positions for like exercises or like yoga positions in order to match up the colors that are actually on the monsters themselves to do the most amount of damage to said monsters. So it's not very strange that Nintendo would be putting out things like this, because they've always pushed the bounds of what video game playing is or what an actual game is. It's just more interesting to see what Nintendo's doing here. The game/device comes out on October 18th for $80, getting the game in the device, so we'll know more then. SNK is doing something very interesting with Neo-Geo. They look to be making a plug-and-play slash gamepad device, and as you're seeing here, it looks like a typical plug-and-play device that you might find on any Walmart electronic aisle. But there is something very different to this that I personally have not seen in any other device like this. You can actually use it as a gamepad for other systems. So it does show a picture of a PC being used here, but I'm betting you can use it on any system that has a USB slot. You might just have to have an accessory to make it work with said system. But another thing that's really great about this here is that it's not just a controller for other platforms, but you also get 20 classic Neo-Geo games built into it as well. So I can see this device going for about $50 or $60, but we'll have to wait and see what SNK says, because they have not said anything about the release date or pricing for it yet. Lastly here, let's go over why people are getting upset with Fallout 76 again. With the recent patch update that happened to the Atomic Shot, it brought the ability to be able to buy a fridge, and that being the only way to get said fridge. And the thing with Fallout 76 is that it is a survival game, so food rots over time. So having a solution to that problem where food lasts longer is a time/lifesaver for everybody involved. But as you can see, they made it to where you buy it, and that's where people are having the problem, because it's not something that you can just go and get in the game, where it's a special activity and a quest that you go and get, and then they sell you skins for it afterwards, which actually would have been a better way to do this. If they released it as a quest where you go and get said item and then sell you like $3.99 or $7.99 skins, that would have been something that everybody could get behind, because yeah, there are going to be microtransactions, but don't make them shady microtransactions. And it just makes my heart very sad to see stuff like this coming from Bethesda, where before, I love playing multiple games at a time, where I can play, Astral Chain and then Torchlight on my Switch, going back and forth until I've had my fill of both those games. But Bethesda games, they've had a way to keep me playing their games until I had my 120-hour fill of them. So to see them do things like this, where they're releasing microtransaction type stuff that is actually affecting gameplay, is very sad, because they did actually stand for something where they released very good, outstanding RPGs. Yes, they had a very vast number of bugs in them that they always had to fix, and that's due to the creation engine that they use for their games. But that could all be looked past if you actually bring a game that's something worth playing. And that's where the problem is that they've made Fallout 76 a multiplayer game. They've stripped away all of what makes Bethesda games, and said have fun with it. And then they continue to do things that they say they wouldn't do, like adding microtransactions that will affect gameplay, like this fridge. Not only that, I didn't even mention that they have a Mr. Handy bot now that will collect materials for you around your campsite inside the game, so thus making it even more of a reason not to play the game and making the game automated. Why would I want to play your game if this game is just all automated for me and I don't actually get to play the game? That's something that strikes me as odd. And seeing how there are a lot of people, or actual single player developers, putting these microtransaction things into single player games, it does make me very wary of what's to come from Bethesda, because we still have stuff like Starfield to come out and Elder Scrolls 6. So I just don't know. I'm now more on the fence of wait and see with Bethesda, where I was let's pre-order this shit. So I just wish that Bethesda would actually make a game that was worthwhile playing and not something I just bought my way through. Well, that's our video for today, guys. If you did have any thoughts about any of the stories that we covered, or if you see any of the upcoming games that you did want to purchase, let me know down in the comments below. I'd be very interested in seeing what you guys thought about all of this, especially that Fallout 76 patch. That really kind of irks me that they would do stuff like that. I'm not really going to go too much into it. We've already covered it. I don't want to get too upset here at the end of the video. I will also link in the description my Discord server that I'm a part of. If you guys are into making gaming videos and need some help with it, or just want to meet new people that make the same content that you do, that'll be down in the description below. It's called YouTubers. The link never expires, so you can check this out on any of my videos that I've posted it on. That link never expires, and there's no limit to the amount of people that can come and join on it. Also, I'm going to be leaving those 3 channels down there as well, so that way you guys can check them out, because like I've always said, they deserve your views just as much as I do. I also, if you guys did like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, because if we do get this video up to 20 likes, I will do that special live stream where we just get to chill and hang out for a little bit. Dislike is somewhere around that like button, and remember to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can stay notified for whenever I release a video. As always, I've been Tasty, and have a wonderful fucking gaming night.